Today is Tuesday, which marks day 11 of Israel in War. Instead of our regular Meet a Pioneer episode, we've prepared something a little different, given the circumstances. Our guest today is our very own Sarah Belfer. She's our team member in our CFOIC Heartland office in Israel in Karnei Shomron. Hi, Sarah. Thank you so much for joining us. With Israel calling up over 300,000 reservists, many families are facing new challenges. Can you please tell us how this war has affected your family?
Hi, yes, it has affected so many families of us here living in Israel. My husband, who is a tank commander, was called the second everything started on last Shabbat. He was called to go straight down to his base down south to start getting the guys in order to just help defend and start protecting. And that meant dropping everything family-wise, putting on his gear and going. It has affected us in so many ways in this last week.
You have been single parenting and wartime. How has that been for you?
It's crazy. I mean, not only do you have to play mom and you have to play dad, and you have to protect your older children from knowing, what they need to know. So that way they're not overly fearful, but you also need to take care of the physical responsibilities. I'm also very pregnant, so I need to do that while expecting. And, it's not just bathing and cooking dinner and keeping, them entertained. It's also psychologically being there for them and protecting what they, their fears, because they have so many of them. It's just really to wear all the hats at once without any warning is really difficult.
Can you share with us an unusual event that has taken place for you since your husband's gone to war?
Yeah, I mean, as well as I'm thankful to feel safe here in Karnei Shomron because we have a lot of security. The trauma many Israelis who have not even directly been affected by what happened down south, it is hitting all of us differently. Just this morning, early morning, I woke up to my electric being blown and hearing a loud noise in my living room. My children have been sleeping in my room with me because I only feel safe with them in bed next to me, knowing that if we hear a siren or if, God forbid, there was an intruder alert, they are already right next to me. And I am someone who carries my own weapon, and I still feel the need for them to be right next to me. I heard my electric went out, and I heard a loud noise coming from my living room, and it woke me. And I was so terrified that I called our security hotline number and told them my husband is away. I heard a loud noise. I have no electric. The rest of the neighborhood has electric. I'm deeply terrified that there's someone in my house right now. And I tried to explain to them that maybe I'm exaggerating and maybe it's not, anything. And they said, no, you were absolutely correct to call us. We need to be vigilant right now to call for everything because anything is possible. And thank God everything was okay. There was no one in my house. But just the fact that I felt the need at 4:00 in the morning to call our security in the neighborhood, and I had 2 soldiers come search my home. Now, when these soldiers came in, and my husband being an Israeli soldier himself, I'm not afraid of our loving, amazing Israeli soldiers, but I'm so scared from after learning about how Hamas dresses an Israeli soldier uniform that when these 2 men entered my home, again, and I still have my own weapon, I was terrified to really trust that they are Israeli Jewish soldiers. I was very concerned, but I tried to use my logic and say they knew where to come. They came on the phone. This is the people who I was just speaking to. And they searched my home. They reassured me. They told me I did the right thing. And then I was able to go back to sleep. And then my daughter, who I didn't even realize, saw me from the hallway crying hysterically. And she's only 6 years old. And she said to me, Ima, Mom, why are you crying? And I felt it was best at the moment to say to her, I had it, the electric went out and I was a little bit nervous that we wouldn't be able to see. So the soldiers came to help. And that was enough for her because she's still little. But the point is she had to see Mom terrified, crying with 2 soldiers inside the house.
Wow. Thank you. And with all of this, you are still working. You're still a team member at CFOIC. So how are you managing to juggle all of these extra responsibilities now with your work responsibilities?
Yes, and our work is so important to us, and especially to spread the message to all of our Christian friends everywhere about what it is that we are enduring here. I'm doing my best. My kids go to sleep. I turn on my computer and I get back to our donors and all the other responsibilities that I am in charge of as best and as fast as I can. Right now we're balancing putting our families and our physical and mental health first and our safety first, but also work because I have a family to support. And while I'm sure the government will help us in different ways for the families who are fighting, like Maya, like you said, 300,000 reservists, I don't know what that means financially for the, we don't know. It's the unknown. So I need to do my best to work for my family, to be able to provide before a new baby is brought into the world. There's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of stress.
And the stress of maybe your husband not even being here when your baby arrives.
Yes, that is a fear that only kicked in maybe 3-4 days after him away. I realized, this is not ending anytime soon, most likely. And I'm due in January, God willing. And I remember the first time it clicked in my head because, I can only start processing all of this at 7:30 p.m. once my children are in bed, because I need to be strong for them when they are awake and home with me. And then I'm able to process it as an adult. And then all the emotions kick in and it's extremely overwhelming. And, when I thought about it, I said, oh my God, okay, so yes, I'm sure he'll be granted permission to come to the hospital, but that means I need to come home with a newborn, with 2 small children at home, with the mental load that my husband is fighting on the front lines in a war with terrorists. It's unfathomable. I have no idea. I don't know what I will do except the help of family and friends. And thank God my husband's mother lives right next door, but family, friends, and community is not my husband. It's not the same.
Wow. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you so much for your time. And may God protect all of Israel. May all of our soldiers, including your husband, return safely home soon.
Thank you.